everybody, and welcome. Welcome to the stream. We're doing something a little bit crazy today. We're actually coding. Yeah, we're gonna be actually live coding right now. The reason is, I know today's usually Stardew Valley Day, but, Crazy could not make it, so, we're doing a dev stream instead, because I won't be able to do a dev stream on Thursday, and I have a lot of code that I wrote down at my job today, because I was brainstorming and I was bored. So yeah, we got a bunch of code, and I'm gonna type it out into the game, and we're gonna see if it works on stream live. So you guys get to see in real time if this goes good or bad. So really exciting. Let's see. Oh yeah, awesome. So I still have this from last time. Brilliant. Awesome. Awesome. Alright. So let me check something real quick. Here, if I can. Honestly, I think I can remove this because let me double check there's nothing sensitive. I don't think there is anything sensitive in yeah, I don't think there's anything. There shouldn't be anything sensitive in this. Yeah. Yeah, I should be able to show this actually. In theory. Yeah. Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, we can move that out of the way. If I need to, I can grab it again, but as of right now, I think we should be good. Yeah. Also, stream, YouTube and Twitch went live roughly at the same time this time, so they're not off by a little bit, which is exciting. I'm getting better at that. Alright, so let me see. Alright, so these are our current scripts, and what we're going to be adding is, so we're adding to the letter manager, which is this guy right here, and then we're gonna be making a new script called slot code. And let me get off of the title scene, because that's not where a lot of our stuff. And actually, I should show you, if just in case any of you weren't here last time, let me show you kind of what we have going on right now for title. Ignore the thing in the corner. Ignore the red in the corner. Actually, can you even see the red in the corner? Yeah, you can. But ignore it. Another thing that I added after last stream is I added this little flicker effect, because I thought it was really cool. So yeah, we have that for our title sequence. I think it looks really cool. Let me go into get out of here. Get on up and out of here. Oh, and another thing that's really cool that I have in here from last stream is this. So I got that implemented. We don't have anything else, and I can't hit play to the next scene right yet, because I kind of moved away from the title once I got the basic stuff down. Here's the interesting stuff. Give it a second to load in, because there's a lot to load in. Yeah. So I made some cloud UI. Yeah, so this is going to be the basic UI for the game, which is pretty exciting. Yeah. And the cool thing is, so let me go to this, you know what, I'm just gonna take out the entire canvas for now. And I want to show you this really cool animation and some other 3D modeling that I did kind of off camera, that I'm really proud about. Let's see here. Let me go to animations. Actually, let me pull this up here so then you can actually see it. So we have a new 3D model, and that is the teacher. That's the teacher model, and I'm very proud of how this came out. I don't know how I was able to make this. I was very impressed by this. But yeah, it goes kind of fast right now. And it also loops when I play the animation. But here, this is how she looks. I'm really proud of how she looks. And the reason that we have this specific angle is because I wanted to, you know, have the ominous look of the crowd in the background, which is just a bunch of capsules. It's just a bunch of capsules. There's nothing else to it. There's just a bunch of capsules. And so this kind of gives the effect of, like, you know, oh my gosh, everybody's looking at you, waiting for you to spell. And I really wanted that to really be felt by the player. So yeah, and I think it really fits the look of, like, the rest of the game as well. So I'm really proud of how that came out. Yeah. And then for the teacher UI here, let me undo the canvas real quick. I need to group these together to better, you know, hide and unhide them. But essentially, oh shoot, I forgot to unhide the speaker bubble. So there we go. So this is what it looks like. We're gonna have, like, a little word bubble here. Hello! Welcome to the stream! Welcome! Yeah, so I'm gonna have, like, a little speech bubble right here. And that's gonna be kind of showcasing how, she's, you know, talking to, the player, being like, your word is, and here's the thing that I'm really excited to do, but also not excited to do. So, here, let me show you this one, chat. Where are they? Scriptable. Yeah, scriptable word objects. We'll do level 1. Okay. So, these are the words, and you might notice, there's something in here called a word sound. Word sound is audio clips of the word, because I'm not writing the word in the speech bubble. You have to listen to it. How's game development going? Yeah, I think it's going pretty well. We have a bunch of code we're going to be doing in a bit. I just wanted to showcase some stuff I did off stream, because I didn't do these on stream last stream, and so I want to showcase to you guys what I'm really doing. Also, I want to get your input. Chat, I want your input. These words that you see right here, do you think that you would be able to spell them? Like, if you heard the word, do you think you could spell them? Like, as the words are floating by, do you think you could spell them? for that stream delay. The reason I ask, though, is just because I'm worried. I just worry about, like, having words that, people aren't able to spell. And I know, like, it's, well, no, because I want it to be, because the thing is not everybody goes for a, bachelor's degree or anything like that. I want it to be accessible to, the basic person. And so, difficulty balancing? Yeah. Well, these are, I took these words from an 8th grade spelling bee sheet. And I'm contemplating if I need to go to a lower grade or not. Just because I don't want the words to be, too difficult. Like, budget, I think, would be pretty good. But dilemma and inept, I'm not sure. That's true, especially if more people play video games, especially if more people play video games compared to someone who, may read often. They seem spellable? Okay. Cool. Alright, awesome. That's good. That's good to hear. Cause, yeah, I just want to make sure that I'm making a game that people are actually able to play. Not super common, but also letting them think. Yeah, exactly. I don't want them to be, like, easy root words like food, you know? You could set up some difficult sections and swap to easier and harder choices based on if they've done well or poorly. Ooh! That's true, but that's gonna be a lot more, back-end. That's gonna be a lot more back-end stuff. I don't know, I think I could do that. I do actually have a... Well, like, so the thing is that I'm already, like, making... You know what? I'll do the code, and then we can talk more about the difficulty scaling. Because when you see the code, you might be... Or, like, when I'm talking about the gameplay, it might be a little bit of a different, answer. I also don't know how, the code's gonna work, so you're going to the void for a second, chat. While I make sure that when I open my code, it doesn't, dox me. It shouldn't. But I need to double check how this window is going to, fit into... Oh my gosh. Why'd you send me to Google? Okay. I mean, it looks fine. I think we're good. Make one of them the words. Wait, that'd be kind of funny. I could actually make one of the words like cat lion or like cat lion live or something like that. That'd be funny. I think that'd be a funny joke word to put in there. Alright. Let's see here. Alright. I don't know how this looks. That's not bad. Yeah, we can do that, and then... Oh. Oh, hello. Why am I... Hello? Why you... Oh my gosh. so big? What the heck? That's a large color swatch. My gosh. I was like, oh yeah, I can just use this random color palette thing I have. And then I'm like, oh my gosh. Alright, let me double check that this isn't, ow, my knee. Don't say hi to Mari in the void. You can't say hi to Mari in the void. That's not allowed, chat. She's trying to find peace. Don't invoke her. Let her find peace. The more you talk to Mari in the void, the more she's gonna not find peace. Alright. Sorry, chat. I'm just trying to get it all organized on here. Nice. There we go. And we're gonna do a silly little. Alright. Is it available for wishlist on Steam? I'm actually getting ready to get the Steam page up soon. I was actually looking into that right before stream. Because I am getting to the point where I'm getting the main stuff, you know, because this is the main gameplay we're coding right now. And so that's why I'm like, I think I am gonna get that up and running. But as I was getting ready to log into my Steam account to do that, guess what happened? It said, hey, that's not your password. And I was like, huh? What do you mean that's not my password? That's the one I have saved. And it said, no. And I was like, oh, I don't know my password then. So I gotta get a new password, which means all of my Steam accounts are probably gonna get probably gonna get kicked out, so that's gonna be fun. But yeah, so I might do that after stream, get that all squared away. But there's a little bit of work I have to do to get a Steam page up for wishlist. But hopefully, later tonight or early tomorrow. Early, I have work, so I can't really do it early tomorrow. But hopefully either later tonight or tomorrow, there will be a post about it, both on YouTube and on Instagram. So make sure you're subscribed to YouTube to get that alert, and follow the Instagram if you want to get alerts through Instagram and you don't like YouTube because it's stinky or something like that. But I love the YouTube because I'm streaming on both, chat. So I gotta show love to both. I gotta show love equally to my two streamed places. Okay, so this is the first thing I wrote down. So what this method is going to be doing, chat, is, so this checks, if the slot is filled. And what I mean by that is you can't put a letter in a slot that already has a letter, right? Because you're spelling a word, you can't just switch out the letter like that. Unless you're removing the letter, right? So, the way we're gonna do this, wait, am I going backwards? I wrote all of this code so out of sorts today. Because I had so much time today because my boss was in back-to-back meetings, which meant for me, not a lot to do, and the shelf that I was supposed to, like, be able to put stuff on wasn't built yet, so I couldn't do that. Okay, yeah, let me do this part first before we do the current slot, just because this will make more sense, I think. So, because we need to get, the actual, like, word, and how we do that is a specific way. You asked this the last stream you were in. You asked this in the last stream you were in. I have ADHD. And dyslexia. That's why I'm making this game. But no, I'm not diagnosed with autism. I'm technically on the spectrum, but I have ADHD. So, yeah. You're good. It's all good. It's all good. I forget things all the time. So you're good. Let's see here. Alright, so let's get started. So, first off, I'm just gonna put this in here. So this is going to be how many, how many words the player's gotten right. You had a seizure Sunday night? Oh my gosh. I'm so sorry. Are you good? Well, obviously you're not good. You just had a seizure. Oh my gosh. That's crazy. Man, that sucks. That's awful. I hope. Oh, that's good. That's good that your dog was there for you. I'm very happy your dog was there for you. But that sucks that you have them regularly. Are they you don't have to answer this, but I'm just wondering, are they like light seizures, or are they like more just like because I know there's different kinds. Um, but yeah, I'm just curious because I have a friend whose dad has who has them, so I'm just curious if you have like a similar one to what he has. What is that? Why are you? Huh? Oh, I'm being weird. That's literally fine. I don't know why I was looking at that like it was crazy. Um. Ooh, every 2 to 3 months will be a bit of bit of sore and teleport across the room for some reason. Um, but they're not bad. Okay, but that still sucks. That's really rough. I'm so sorry. That sucks. Oh, but I'm glad you have your dog. That dogs are amazing. They they really are just awesome. All right, let's see here. So what we want to do is we're gonna make a new thing down here, and this is gonna choose the word. I'm also trying to get better at kind of like doing documentation in my coding because I suck at it usually, and I'm really bad at it. Chat. Choose word, and we're gonna do random again. Hang on. We're gonna grab letter shift real quick, and we're gonna look at what letter shift has, because that has a random number generator, and I don't remember what I have to do to grab that. So we're gonna grab that, we're gonna place that in there, and I'm gonna go check to see what I need. I'm gonna grab you. Yoink. We're gonna grab you. You. Yeah, you.
I would never leave you lonely. I would never leave you down.
When you say documentation, do you mean like little notes next to the code, or more so dev blogs? So documentation in my case right now is like these little notes right here. And what it does is it really helps me know what this code is supposed to do. Because a lot of times with code, it's really hard to remember what it does sometimes, especially if it's something that you're like, oh, I'll always remember how to do it, or something like that. If you don't have like documentation and your code is not straightforward, you're gonna look back in like heck, a month, and you're gonna be like, I have no idea what I wrote. What is this? What does this do? And so that's why documentation is always so important, but I'm really bad at it because a lot of times I do more so documentation in the sense of I make things as straightforward as possible in the code, which is all well and good until you try and like look back at it like a few months later, and all of like what you think is really like, oh yeah, well obviously it's suddenly changed, because you think, oh well, like, but I remember how to do that. Yeah, yeah, it happens even when it's straightforward. Yeah, exactly. Um, it seems like a creation thing where you have no idea what you're doing after some time. Yeah. Um, yes. So when you make it straightforward, so like for example, this method name, choose word, that's saying what the method is doing. So like, cause I could name it anything. I could name it like, um, hee hee hoo hoo, ha ha hee hee, and that'd be a valid method name, and the code would keep running as long as that method name is, the same throughout. But if I look back at it a few months later, and you like the music, that's awesome. I'm glad. But if I look back at that code and I try and figure out what the method hee hee hoo hoo means, I'll be like, I don't know what this means. I didn't write anything down. And so that's why it's really important to add like little notes into the code, because it sets you up to be able to make edits in the future. So yeah, that's the whole thing. It's just like setting yourself up to be able to make those edits later. Yeah. Right now we just have this set at 5, but later it's gonna be set to something. Actually, nah, I'm just gonna keep it at 5 for now. I don't feel like changing it. I'm gonna change this to just number. Why are you like this? Why are you like this? Why do you have an X? You shouldn't have an X. What do you mean? Eh. I'm sure it's fine. I'm sure it's fine. But yeah, honestly, like for you guys, like I kind of just want to kind of showcase my process, and also just kind of explain to you like the game stuff that that's gonna be in the game, and kind of get input on how you think something is based on like games that you've played and all of that, because as a developer, it can be hard to know what actual gamers want or not, because just because I also do video games doesn't mean that I know how to make the greatest game ever. So that's why it's important to look at other people's perspectives, especially when you are developing a game, because you want to make sure you get a lot of different people's inputs. But yeah, so this right here, the reason it's spaced out like this is because essentially what I'm doing is I'm gonna be choosing a word based on the amount of spelled words that the player has, because that determines what level they're on. So depending on what level you're on, you'll get different words. So like if you've spelled like 20 words, you're gonna get a lot harder words than a level 1 person. Yeah. But also the other thing that makes this game a little bit harder is the fact that there's no save points. I'm making a game that has no save points. I might make save points in the future, but currently I don't have any save points planned for this game, which, I'm gonna be asking, you guys, do you think that's a good idea to make a spelling bee game with no save points, in which you have to, the goal is to spell at least 30 words in order to complete the game. How do you guys feel about that? Increase average thing to determine difficulty. Yeah. So like, essentially, if you spell 20 words, that means you're on level 3. So you're gonna get words here. Let me flip it to Unity real quick. So you'll get words that are level 3 words. These are level 3 words. How do we feel about this, chat? These ones are also the ones that I'm like, I don't know. Could be a little bit too hard. But it's also like you've spelled 20 words correctly. You think no save points is good? Okay, awesome. I'm glad to hear it. Cause I am nervous about that because I want to make a game that's fun, but I also want to make it really hard. You know, I want to make a hard game. They seem good? I'm glad. Huh? Oh. Here we go. Standard dynamic difficulty adjustment. Yeah. Well, so not only are the words getting more difficult, but you're also thing about getting to 30 words is there will likely be duplicates even on one playthrough. No, actually. I'm gonna make sure that there's no duplicates. Because so each level will have a 30 word pool that it selects from. So it's randomly picking a word from 30 words. And in order to make sure it doesn't choose the same word in a row, it checks its list of words that you have spelled. And if you have spelled a word already and it chooses that word, it'll pick a different word. That's the plan. And I think that'll make it so that then, you know, people aren't gonna get the same words. No, these are just test ones right now just to make sure everything works. I'm gonna add more later. Yeah, the reason I am hesitant though, I may add in less because again, like the big thing that I'm kind of like, oh gosh, is the recording of all the words. Because I have to record all of those words. I have to say them. So that's why I'm like, oh my gosh. I have to go through and say all of these words and like actually make sure I pronounce them correctly as well. It's gonna suck. Hopefully this works. Yeah, it's Word. Alright. Hopefully this works. It may not work. I may need to rename the level thing. Because essentially, like, sometimes code is mean. Who am I kidding? Sometimes, a lot of times code is mean and evil. Code can be evil, Chad. Let me tell you, code can be so evil and mean, and yeah. So you shouldn't trust code sometimes, Chad, because it can be so mean. Make sure there's no dogs in your background while you're saying words. This is true. This is true. That's the problem I have with recording. My dogs keep barking in the background. Oh shoot. There we go. But yeah, my dogs keep barking in the background, and whenever I try and record for videos or anything, they'll be like, "Oh wait, I sense you're trying to record. It's my time to just bark." I'm like, no, it's not the time. It's not the time to do that. Are you open to some ideas for level 3 words? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. If you have an idea for a word, shoot your shot. Shoot your shot. I am open. I'm open to it. The only thing is it's gotta be good, pretty easy to spell. Well, easy, quote unquote. It's gotta be like 8th grade spelling level. The best thing about code is that, it does exactly what you tell it to. Nothing more, nothing less. The worst thing about code, it does exactly what you tell it to. Marine time, environmental, parameters, and interactive. Ooh, I like those words. I like those. Those are good words. Also, I like how in the YouTube chat we have just one word, trash. I find that, you know what? I'm putting that in my game. I'm putting trash in my game. Why not? Someone puts trash in your chat. Put in the game. Put in the game. See what happens. Very good words though, Average. Very good words. Very good. I really like those words. Let's see here. What else I got? I need to add this. So we need to get game object, cloud UI, and then we need to get game object. What was it? Yeah. So we need to get speech. How do you spell speech? Oh no. That's close enough. Great thing about development. How on the nose. Yeah, that's good. When one could say those words were above average. So true. No, the great thing about code is that you can misspell something and it won't be like, hey, no, you can't do that. You misspelled that word. It'll be like, okay, that's how it's spelled. That's how the variables spell. And it won't tell you. So I've misspelled length multiple times. And it doesn't say anything. But the second I try and actually grab the length of a word or something like that, then it's like, whoa, I don't know what you're doing. So it's very funny. Because it points in my favor and points against my favor at the same time. Alright, so the reason I did that was because at the start, what we do here is we need to make sure that the cloud UI is hidden, and we need to make sure the speech UI is not hidden. And the reason that we do this is because when we're starting a game, we're not going to start with spelling a random word. We're just going to start by getting the word from the teacher. So we're going to start pointed actually at the teacher. So I actually need to change the camera, like base input, like, or not the base input, but the start position to be pointed at the teacher at the same location we are at the teacher animation, so that then we're not like just already at the mic. So it's already going to start with that. And the other thing we're going to start with is we're going to start with choose word as well. And we're going to start with, then we do word dot, let me double check what exactly. So actually, we're gonna pull up the scriptable object here. So this is really cool. So this is how the scriptable object works. So all of these work by essentially it stores all this data. And this is like the baseline work of storing the data for a scriptable object. So then what I can do in Letter Manager is I can go over here and I can have it grab this audio clip, and I should be able to play it. In theory, I should be able to play it. Should be able to play it in theory. Yeah, because we're saving. Oh, well, no, because that's that sets word to be that, so it should work in theory. This is all theory. In theory, chat. None of this has been put into practice. Yeah. So that should be our start. And then what we do next is we're gonna make buttons. So these buttons are gonna be for when you finish spelling a word, you're gonna press the button, or when the timer goes out, but I haven't added a timer feature yet. But when the timer goes out, or when you press the button to lock in your word, then it's going to go and check. So we're gonna do so it checks the word. Yeah. But the thing is that I need to make sure I have I get the combined word, because each of these are broken up. So I need to kind of smush all of the slots, individual strings into one. So that's going to be its own separate method. So the cool thing about like all these methods that we have right now, I say all of these here, letter shift is a better example. So let me get rid of this. We don't need that. So with letter shift, right, we have right and wrong, and this kind of changes if it's going to be correct or not. And based on that, it'll either bring up the correct letter in the cloud, or it'll give you the wrong letter in the cloud. And so essentially then it picks a random number that's not the correct number, and then it converts that into the letter, and it gives you the picked letter, and then from there that it puts it into the cloud. Alright, so let's get this next one here. Void check. And this is going to... So this is kind of what we do actually on our first run through here, which is very interesting. So this is kind of like the exact same thing on the first run through for the start, except we do one thing that's different, which is we have this, which we do before we choose a new word. We do if. And we're gonna do this up here. We do string, combine. And that's gonna be the combined words later. So then we're gonna go down here, here, and we're gonna do combine. There we go. We're gonna do combined equals, and then we're gonna do word dot. Let me double check what. Actually, wait. I can just look over here. Yeah. So it's word. Which I might need to change this just so then it's. Yeah, let's change that to. Yeah, we're gonna change that to this. Just so that then, we don't get it. The code doesn't get confused about what we're trying to reference here. Alright, I'll make sure I got everything. Yeah, looks like it. Beautiful. And we're gonna grab this, gonna throw it in there, and we're also gonna do spelled. Oh, good night. Good night. You're gonna go do some drawing. Awesome. That's awesome. Hope you have a good time. I love drawing. Art's so fun to do. So we're gonna add to spelled because you got one correct. And so we want to make sure we're capturing that. And then let's see here, what else? And then we're gonna have an else statement after that. And essentially, we're gonna have more buttons. And so we're gonna do. Oh. There we go. Game object, and then this is gonna be, what is it? Failed UI. And so then we're gonna do failed UI, dot. And we're gonna set that true. But because we have that there, we need to make sure at the start that the failed UI is not true. Because we don't want people to think they already, didn't succeed. What kind of game would that be if you open the game and it's already like, hey, you didn't win at all. You actually failed really bad. It's like, what? What do you mean? What do you mean I failed really bad? What? Alright, so we're gonna grab this bad boy. And we're gonna do for this one is we're gonna get. Hello? Hello? Why? Why are you being weird? Oh, that's gonna be a weird thing to code. I'll do that later. Let's see here. Anything else? Okay. So that's basically all of what checked is. And then spell now. So this is to spell the word. So like when you hit so this is like after you get your word and you're ready to try and spell. So that's what this one is. And so we're gonna say go to spelling mini game. Yeah. But don't know what that did. Maybe not mini game. Maybe just go to spelling. And then let's see here. I'm gonna say public void, and this is now spell. And then we're gonna do, so we gotta do the same thing. Cloud UI dot set active. Oh, it's in the freaking insert mode. That's why. That's why it's like being all funky with me. I'm like, why is it being weird? Because it's in insert mode. No wonder. No wonder it's being funky. I was like, it's like, why is it not giving me the option to, like, you know, do, because usually in Unity and a lot of other game engines, it'll give you, like, the options of, like, what to do. So when it doesn't do that, it's always like, huh? What do you mean by that? And then we're gonna do the camera movement animation back to there. And then it's the other thing that's interesting is start spawning clouds. So that's what spell now does. Alright, so now after we have all of that stuff down, and we have a few things down with that, I think we're gonna go back to what we originally were going to start working on, which is the current slot method, which takes in the word length. Wait, do we even need to do that? No, we don't need to take in the word length. What? What was previous? What? Huh? Huh? What are you? Me looking at my previous notes thinking, well, man, what was this person on? Literally me from like a few hours ago. This is why making sure your code is annotated is so important, though. Because you look at it and you're like, what are you saying? You're not making any sense. Alright. Let's just get started on it and see where it goes. Alright, we're gonna do I less than, we're gonna do word. Yep, perfect. Right? Yeah. Actually, even better yet, because this has a broken down what is it, array of the amount of words already. So we're gonna use that actually to kind of grab it. So what's that again? That is breaking word. And that is, or no, that's broken word. Yeah, broken word. So broken word. Broken word, and we're gonna do if. Oh, we also need to. Oh well, we have that. We have letter. We have slot list. So we're gonna do if slot list. So we might need to get. It's so weird. It's so weird. Sorry, it's just weird how it's not like kind of filling in the blanks a little bit. Just a little bit weird. But I think, sadly, chat, I think I am going to probably end soon. Purely because, I'm talking too much and it's distracting me from actually, like, inputting the code, sadly. But I am gonna do this. So I am gonna do this real quick, and I want some opinions real quick on this. Hang on. It says I have an error. Where's the error? I have multiple errors. What? What? Heh. Oh, it's probably a freaking if statement on that. Oh. And then what other errors? What else is it upset about? So, let's see here. 38. 38. What do you mean? Okay, yeah. So I need to rename these guys because it doesn't like that. At the very least, I've now seen code and you're satisfied? Alright. Well, here, let me show you this one last thing before we go. Let me check what I'm naming it. There we go. Okay. So, this thing, is purely, so this is gonna be the, actually, variables contain numbers, can contain numbers, but they can't start with a number. Ah, that's where I messed up. Well, I can rename them. It'll be fine. Okay, I'll do that. I'll rename them. Okay. Well, okay. So I'll need to do that. And then the other thing that I need to do is okay. So I'm just gonna type this out here, and I don't feel like doing code stuff right now because I think I'm gonna probably end soon. So I'm just gonna talk about this really. And then we got what is it? I think it's 50. Oop, that's not. There we go. And then 70. Okay. So so these numbers represent so this is going to be level 1, and the amount of chances that a letter will kind of float away. So that's going to be 20% chance uh just to give you know, the best shot of catching that. And then we have 50% chance that a letter will flip. So that means a letter might be an M. It'll flip to a W, and whatever other letters are common to be flipped by dyslexic. And 70% is the letter will just disappear. It'll just vanish. How do we feel about these? Of course, a lot of this is going to be game testing, but I want to get the vibe of how we feel about these percentages. Um, just because I don't want it to be impossible challenge of getting through this, but I also I just want to make sure it's still a challenge. Man, stream delay is something else. It's something else, man. Nothing. Chat, please. Please. Give me opinions. Give me your opinions on this. Damn. Damn. This is so sad. Alexa, play Despacito. Well, oh well. Alright. I think we're gonna end for the day. I'm gonna do some coding on my own. You may or may not have zoned out at the question. I was wondering because I was like, it's an awful long time for it to just be stream delay. Okay, so 20%, it has the chance of the letter floating away, but you're able to grab it back. 50% chance is the letter will flip. So an M will become a W, and a W can become an M. 70% chance of the letter just blipping out of the existence. It'll just disappear. Like you don't get a chance to save it or anything like that. Do you think that's a fair percentage? So this is gonna be uh, level 1, level 2, and level 3. Do you think that's a good vibe? feel like it could be. I don't know. Let's see here. While I wait for the answer, I'm gonna just start. I'm gonna just start coding. Why not? We're gonna do. Actually, no. We need to do public maybe. Yeah, maybe public. It heavily leans into higher chances being worse for the player. They also don't add up, so I assume they're independent numbers. Yes. Yeah. So essentially, here's how I'm doing it. Here, let me do some let me showcase this one method here, the floating letter method. So then we're checking if text. I need to have to do the freaking like child thing. I'm just gonna do this for now. It's not gonna be correct, but I don't care. Ah, there we go. And then, so we're gonna do random. And we're just gonna steal this from here again. Yoink. Boop. But it sounds good for a test run so you can balance the numbers later. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's kind of my plan, is to kind of balance it later. Once I actually have a game to balance it with, because right now I have no baseline on like really what is going to be too hard or what is going to be you know just right when it comes to them. When it comes to like gameplay and that stuff, I'm kind of just winging it. So yeah, and then I want. So I'm just gonna put text. I know it's not proper stuff, but I don't care right now. So yeah. But essentially what this is doing is, or like what it's supposed to do, is it checks if there's a letter in there. Because if it's not blank, then it has a letter. And so if it has a letter, it has a chance of that letter floating away. And it also checks if the game object is active, because for a slot, it needs to be active, like actually not hidden, in order to be able to be used. Because if it's hidden, then there's no way that you're gonna even get a component in there. So, yeah. Well, I guess then if there's, yeah, I don't want to risk it. Just in case, just to cover the bases, we're doing that. And then yeah, that's kind of the plan. Um, yeah, but the cool thing is that for this, it's gonna have an on trigger. And the on trigger is going to be like this outer bound box of the here, let me show you. So the out of bound box is going to be, oh, whoopsies. So it's going to be, so you see how this cloud is here? I might actually, now that I think about it, I probably need to make a I probably need to make a like a clear hitbox right here at the very edge of the cloud, the very top here. And so that then when it goes up, so it's just gonna be the letter that floats up, and right as it hits the edge of the cloud, then it'll be gone. So yeah. The other thing I looked up and like kind of learned how to do was like make a draggable object. And the reason is because you're going to be dragging the letter back down. So as long as you get it close to this point, you should be good. As long as you're like kind of dragging it, it'll reset. And the same is true though, is you want to because letters can flip on you. So, you know, if you're spelling like, I don't know, more, there's not gonna be a more in the game, but you know, just as an example, if you're spelling more and that M suddenly flips to a W, you don't want that in there because you're not gonna get new letters if all of your slots are filled. And so you need to go and grab that letter and pull it out. And when you do that, then your slot opens and you get more letters. So yeah, so that's kind of the plan, the game plan for that. Um, yeah, these are the little cloud letters. I'm quite proud of them. They're very cool. Um, oh yeah, I made these clouds with my mouse because for some reason my tablet wasn't working, and so yeah, had to do that. I'm gonna grab this down here real quick. And I think what I'm gonna do real quick. So let's go to animation. I'm gonna go to this one. And we're gonna grab that. And we're gonna click off, click back on. And we're gonna put that in there. So now we have that. And we're gonna go to here. And we're gonna grab this. Put that in there. And we're gonna go back over to here. Boom. Ba bing, ba boom. And then we're gonna go back to here. So now we have the rotation down, we just need the position. And we're gonna grab you. Boop. So now, if I go to game, something ain't right. Oh, the Y's not right. What? Why isn't the Y right? I thought I grabbed the Y. I didn't account for the Y axis. There we go. Beautiful. Alrighties. Yeah. So then the other thing is, let me go over the animator. And that's all good to be on none, because we don't want it to move immediately. But what we do want, so I'm going to do that. Please fix error. Oh, yeah. So it's asking about, because the script is not right, so it's going to yell at me until it is. So we're going to duplicate this, and we're going to name it camera to teacher R. For reverse, and the way that you do reverse in Unity for animations, I didn't realize this until I looked it up, but you just do -1. It's pretty cool. I was like, wait, that's so easy. Actually, I don't think I need the transitions, because I can just call these whenever I need them. So yeah. That's gonna be, I think that's gonna be it for today. So now, once I make that button, and the other thing I can do real quick for you guys, where is it? Empty object. Cloud UI. I'm gonna grab all of these, and we're gonna plop them into there. Make sure everything is there, and we're gonna do that. So now, it's gonna be a lot easier to, take out, make sure that is there and not there. So yeah. Looking pretty good. Looking pretty good. If I do say so myself. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. I didn't even realize my music is gone. My music is gone. That's crazy. It always ends at about an hour. How crazy. But thank you guys for watching. I'm excited about this game because it feels like it's actually within grasp now. Before I was really nervous because I was like, oh no, I don't know. I don't know if this is gonna work out or not. But I feel really good about it right now. Also, few housekeeping. No stream on Thursday and no stream on Friday because I'm not gonna be at my desktop, but I am still gonna be streaming on Saturday. For Omori, getting those last different endings. But I will not be on Twitch. I will not be on Twitch for those streams. I will make an announcement. I will not be on Twitch for those streams. The reason is because I don't have 2 laptops when I'm not at my setup, so I will not be streaming on Twitch. I will only be on YouTube. So, just want to throw that out there. Anyways, I'm going to actually raid into... I'm going to be raiding into somebody. So I'm going to go ahead and do that before I end my YouTube stream. Let me make sure I get this correct. I'm so glad Bro's still live. Bro's waiting for me to raid into him, I feel like. So I've had him I've had Austin on my channel before, but now you guys are gonna get raided into him. YouTube. YouTube, say goodbye to Twitch. Say bye, Twitch. Bye. Bye, Twitch. Bye. Alright, I'm just gonna go ahead and rate them now. There we go. And YouTube, goodbye, YouTube. I will see you guys